Well, this was completely unexpected. When I saw the videos about this game, the first thing that came to my mind was Timberborn. If you don't know, Timberborn is a strategy game about, well, beavers building a society, I guess. And I thought that this game would be something like that. And to my surprise, it is not. It is completely not. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Terra Nil and deciding whether it is worth it to buy right now or not. So without further ado, let's just get it started. And as always, as every single one of my videos, I'm going to be giving you the answer right away to not waste your time. But in this case, the answer is kind of, well, not obvious. Because, yeah, this game is great and I actually like it very much, but I don't know if it will be for everyone. This game is more like an experience, a time waster, than it is an actual game. And it's kind of like a puzzle. So if you play a lot of, let's say, games like Dorf Romantic, this game is more like that than it is an actual strategy game. But to understand what I mean by that, I need to get into the details. Oh, and by the way, our Steam Curator page is already up and running, so if you want to see all of my reviews, videos, and a little bit of text review right there on Steam before you're gonna buy anything, just go and follow us there on Steam, so that you will not miss my reviews when you are buying the games. Now back to the video. So what even is Terra Nil? So Terra Nil is called as a reverse strategy game. So usually in strategy games, when you need to build something, well, you gather the resources, you destroy your environment in order to build your civilization. Here, well, it's kind of reverse, because civilization is already destroyed, everything is already gone, and your goal is to build an ecosystem, rather rebuild an ecosystem, and to leave no trace of your arrival and of your involvement in that. And it plays more like a puzzle game than an actual strategy game. So game actually consists of 3 different distinct parts. First part, when you start a game, is all rebuilding the life around you. It's basically building an infrastructure like wind turbines, irrigators, and you're basically returning the life to, well, to the ground. And by life, I mean like very basic life, like grass, water, and things like that. After you do that, the stage 2 unlocks. With the stage 2, you're actually bringing a diversity around you. You're basically adding a separate biomes like forests, swamps, like beaches, and adding deserts and things like that. And you are transforming and adding continent-specific biomes to the, well, map. And the stage 3 and the last stage is to introduce the animal life and to delete all the traces of your involvement. And you do this by recycling all the buildings around you and to creating this hovercraft that will take off and leave off to the other continents. It's all pretty simple. You have around 5-6 buildings on each stage, and it's not very complicated. The strategy part, or the puzzle part, begins with in the management of resources, because you do have your leaves kind of like your resource, and you gain this resource by transforming the world around you. So you don't have an infinite number of, well, buildings that you can build. You need to be actually very resourceful and manage your resources very carefully. You also need to control different things based on what map you're playing. You need to control your humidity, you need to control your temperature, and things like that. And in some cases, you actually need to destroy your environments to build an ashlands that will be a basis of more lush forests and things like that. And to be fair, all of those things combined make it quite an interesting game. And with an addition of different biomes on the different continents that you move on after you finish the, well, first continents or the previous continents, gives game quite a bit of diversity. And if you thought it was like a Timberborn, by the way, we have the review of Timberborn in a card above right here, it's actually not. You don't have a control of practically anything. You have very specific places where you can build a wind turbines, you have very specific places where you can, well, flood the things and bring the water and things like that. So it's very much alike a Dorf Romantic, review of which you can actually watch right here as well. In Dorf Romantic, you're actually building an environment around you to make it look as beautiful as possible. And you do same thing right here as well. So is this game great? Well, it is, but it has one very major downside. And it is the amount of content this game is providing. You see, the game is not very long, very big, or very diverse. If you play this game for a few hours, you practically do everything in this game. There are not a lot of different things. Yes, the levels will be procedural generated and will be different practically every time you play, but yeah, there is not a lot to do here. If you go into the highest levels of difficulty, all you do is just to make your playthrough a little bit longer and just gives you a little bit less margins of error. So that's practically what it is. And unlike Dorfromantic, where you can create a giant these environments and very, very beautiful things just to look at, here it's not. Your maps are quite small and they're not as big and as diverse as it is in Dorfromantic. But everything can be forgiven if the price is right. And in this case, it's kind of difficult to recommend because this game is not very cheap, at least not for now. So game's base price is $25 for tier 1 countries and $18 for tier 2 countries, and it can go for 20% off, like for $20 or for $15. Will I recommend this for these prices? Kinda not. It's very unique experience and it's very difficult to recommend this game for anything above $10. I would not pay anything above $10 for this game. It's in no means bad game. It doesn't have a huge downsides except the amount of content, because for what it has, it does it great. It's not very difficult to start with and it has quite a challenge for some time, but I would not recommend this for everyone unless you can get this for less than $10. It's a good time waster. It's a good time waster, just like Dorfromantic is. And it gives you more challenge than Dorfromantic does. But it's kind of, well, not enough in my opinion to justify paying more than $10 for this. So if you're watching this game in the future and you find this game for sub $10, then yeah, get it. It's quite a beautiful experience to see and to play. But for above $10, especially for the $25, I would say no. I'm sorry, but for $25, game should provide a great experience, and for $25, you can get a lot of great games. So justifying it for that, well, would not be that right and correct. Our YouTube memberships are up and running, and if you like videos done by me, and if you like the reviews that I put out, and everything else as well, consider hitting the join button near the subscribe button under this video. This might not be a lot for you, at least for some of you, but it will be tremendous help for me keeping this channel going. Well, I guess it's a bit for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.